I know that so many fans, and I do this myself with shows, will binge a show and catch up and sort of get into it that way. And it's a really fun way to do it because you can immerse yourself in the story and the characters. And so I'm really excited that there's a great home for it now on Peacock where they can go back and stream season 1 and 2. Well, it's a really fun show, and it's a really honest show. David and the writers really try to reflect healthcare and people accurately and discuss issues that are pertinent in all of our lives. And of course, with a bit of humor or a bit of drama, but they try to tell stories that are really happening. And I think now, when we're in the midst of a sort of global healthcare emergency, I just think it makes the show all the more relevant. And it's exciting for me to be able to get back to work on season 3, hopefully soon, and tell the stories of these amazing frontline workers who are working so hard to keep us all safe. Yeah. Oh goodness. Well, I know that I know a lot of we work with a lot of nurses and doctors, real ones on the show, who try to keep us honest, who try to help us say this is what would happen in this or that situation, or this might be your first thought, or all those kinds of things, are sort of a poor man's medical school on set. Talking to them, I know how incredibly difficult this has been for them, and how tirelessly they have worked, especially really in the throes of it when it started. Not that we're totally out of the woods, but just that when it first hit, it was, I know, so demanding, so taxing on these folks, and so. Yeah, I think that is a story that is worth telling, that is filled with ups and downs and a lot of heart and a lot of struggle, and I think that's a story that we can all relate to right now, and would want to see reflected on a show. Oh, sure, yeah, I do. I won't go into too much detail about it right now, but yes, I've had experiences with it. It certainly seems to have affected all of us in one way or another, and yeah, I hope that we can tell that story in a way that is reflective of people's experiences, and not make light of it, nor make it unnecessarily heavy, or I just hope that we can discuss it in a way that is genuinely reflective of people's experiences, because I know a lot of people have had a lot of heartbreaks, and I know people have had a lot of triumphs too, and I think those are the stories that we want to get into. I had that same question myself for David Schulner, who writes our show, along with a great team of writers, and I think a lot of those episodes, unfortunately, will probably get there was only a few. I think we had 3 more left to shoot, and we stopped on that third to last one is when we shut down. I think some of those storylines will spill into season 3. Some of it will get lost. There's a whole episode that we didn't air because it was about a flu epidemic that came up, and the episode was very effective. They did a good job. Nick Gomez directed it, and it felt very real, and it was a little scary, and they didn't want to air it at the time to further scare people when we needed information and to rally together instead of being, afraid. So pulled that, but that may air in the future, and I know that David plans to tackle this pandemic that we're all living through on the show. I don't know exactly how it will manifest, but I know that they will reflect that when we start season 3. I don't think it will be all about the pandemic. Because one thing that's interesting is, it's sad that this has become so political. So I don't mean to sound political in any way, but this pandemic is so complicated for so many reasons, because in an effort to fight coronavirus and quarantine, there are other health issues that arise, like people dying at home because they feel like they can't go to the hospital, or like depression, anxiety, and things like that going up. Obviously, poverty, homelessness, which in turn affects health. So it's a very complicated issue. So I don't think that it will solely focus on the pandemic, but I do think, again, not to speak for David and the writers, but I do think it will begin there, and then I think grow beyond that and sort of get into more sort of the ramifications of this and the residual effects of
Right.
dealing with this pandemic, and of course on a personal level, because at the end of the day we want to watch for these characters and see how it's affecting their lives. So I haven't gotten the first script, and I'm very excited to see for myself.